Hello, history enthusiasts. Welcome to the Fact Grid. Today, we're embarking on a captivating journey through time to uncover the dramatic rise and fall of the French Empire. From its humble beginnings to its days of glory and eventual decline, the French Empire's story is a tapestry woven with threads of war, revolution, art, and cultural brilliance. If you're ready to delve into the annals of history and explore the captivating story of the French Empire, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let's begin our adventure. Our journey begins in the heart of Europe, where the seeds of the French Empire were sown amidst the chaos and upheaval of the early Middle Ages. Join us as we trace the footsteps of kings, emperors, and revolutionaries, and witness the events that shaped not only France, but the course of Western civilization. Get ready to explore the grandeur of Versailles, the drama of the French Revolution, and the military genius of Napoleon Bonaparte. The history of the French Empire awaits. Our story begins in the 5th century CE with the fall of the mighty Roman Empire. Amidst the ruins of this once great power, a new force emerged in Western Europe, the Franks. These Germanic tribes, under the leadership of charismatic kings like Clovis I, carved out a kingdom that would become the foundation of the French Empire. Clovis, a shrewd and ambitious ruler, united the Frankish tribes under his banner and embraced Christianity as the official religion of his burgeoning kingdom. This strategic decision earned him the support of the powerful Catholic Church and paved the way for the fusion of Frankish traditions with Roman culture. The Merovingian dynasty, founded by Clovis, laid the groundwork for the future French state. They expanded their territory through military conquest and established a system of governance that, while rudimentary, provided a semblance of order in a turbulent era. However, the Merovingians eventually succumbed to internal strife and were supplanted by a new dynasty, the Carolingians, who would propel the Frankish kingdom to even greater heights. Join us in the next section as we explore the reign of Charlemagne, the most famous Carolingian king, and the rise of the Frankish Empire. The Carolingian dynasty, particularly under the reign of Charlemagne, witnessed the Frankish kingdom evolve into a veritable empire. Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great, was a towering figure in medieval history, whose influence extended far beyond the borders of his kingdom. Crowned Holy Roman Emperor by Pope Leo III on Christmas Day, 800 AD, Charlemagne presided over a vast realm encompassing much of Western Europe. This coronation was not just a ceremonial act, but a significant political move that symbolized the fusion of Roman, Christian, and Germanic elements, laying the groundwork for the future Holy Roman Empire. He was a remarkable figure, a skilled military leader, a devout Christian, and a patron of learning who fostered a period of cultural and intellectual revival known as the Carolingian Renaissance. This era saw the revival of classical learning and the arts, with scholars flocking to his court, producing manuscripts and preserving ancient texts. Charlemagne's reign marked a high point for the Frankish Empire, but it was not to last. Despite his efforts to create a unified and stable empire, the vast territories he controlled were difficult to manage and defend. Following Charlemagne's death in 814, his empire was divided amongst his heirs, leading to fragmentation and internal conflict. This division weakened the empire, making it vulnerable to external threats and internal strife, which eventually led to its decline. This division ultimately paved the way for the emergence of a distinct French kingdom under the rule of Hugh Capet in 987. Hugh Capet's ascension marked the beginning of the Capetian dynasty, which would rule France for centuries. The Capetian dynasty, though initially ruling over a much smaller territory than their Carolingian predecessors, proved to be enduring and skillful rulers. They gradually expanded their influence through strategic marriages, alliances, and military conquests. Over the centuries, they consolidated their power, expanded their domain, and laid the foundations for the centralized French state. This process involved not only military campaigns, but also administrative reforms and the establishment of a more efficient system of governance. The medieval period in France was a time of significant transformation. Society was evolving, with the rise of a more structured feudal system that defined the relationships between lords and vassals, and between the nobility and the peasantry. It witnessed the rise of powerful feudal lords who built imposing castles and controlled vast estates. These lords played a crucial role in the local administration and defense of their territories. The construction of magnificent Gothic cathedrals, which were not only places of worship, but also symbols of the wealth and power of the church. These architectural marvels, with their soaring spires and intricate stained glass windows, remain some of the most enduring legacies of medieval France, and the flourishing of trade and commerce. Markets and fairs became centers of economic activity, facilitating the exchange of goods and ideas and contributing to the growth of towns and cities. It was also an era marked by conflict, most notably the 100 Years' War, which would have a profound impact on the course of French history. This protracted series of battles between France and England reshaped the political landscape of both nations and had lasting effects on their societies. Section 4, A Kingdom Divided, the 100 Years' War. The 100 Years' War, a protracted and bloody conflict between England and France, left an indelible mark on the French psyche. This war, spanning over a century, was not just a series of battles, but a saga of national identity, resilience, and transformation. Sparked by a dispute over the succession to the French throne, the war dragged on for over a century, from 1337 to 1453, punctuated by periods of intense fighting and fragile truces. The conflict saw the rise and fall of kings, the shifting of alliances, and the relentless struggle for power and territory. England, with its superior military tactics and the legendary longbow, initially dominated the war, inflicting crushing defeats on the French at Crécy and Agincourt. These battles showcased the devastating effectiveness of the English longbowmen, who could decimate French knights from a distance, altering the course of medieval warfare. These losses not only resulted in territorial concessions, but also shook French morale to its core. The French countryside was ravaged, towns were destroyed, and the people suffered immensely under the strain of continuous warfare. However, the French spirit proved irrepressible. Despite the numerous setbacks, the French people and their leaders refused to surrender. They regrouped, re-strategized, and continued to fight for their homeland. The emergence of charismatic figures like Joan of Arc, a young peasant woman who claimed divine guidance, rallied the French forces and turned the tide of the war. Joan's presence on the battlefield was not just a military advantage, but a powerful symbol of hope and divine favor. Joan's unwavering faith and military acumen inspired the French army to victory at Orléans, a turning point in the conflict. This victory revitalized the French cause and demonstrated that the English were not invincible. Though Joan was later captured and executed by the English, her legacy lived on. She became a martyr and a symbol of French resistance and determination, inspiring future generations to continue the fight for their nation's freedom. The French, galvanized by her sacrifice, ultimately emerged victorious from the 100 Years' War, regaining control of their territory and forging a stronger sense of national identity. The end of the war marked the beginning of a new era for France, one of recovery and rebuilding. The war, despite its devastating toll, had several significant consequences. It reshaped the political landscape of France and England, leading to profound changes in both societies. It led to the decline of feudalism, the rise of a more centralized French state, and the development of new military technologies. The use of gunpowder weapons began to change the nature of warfare, making traditional knightly combat increasingly obsolete. It also fostered a sense of French nationalism and paved the way for France's emergence as a major European power. The 100 Years' War, with all its trials and tribulations, ultimately strengthened France, setting the stage for its future dominance in European affairs. Section 5. Rebirth and Renewal, the French Renaissance. Following the turmoil of the 100 Years' War, France experienced a period of remarkable cultural and intellectual flourishing known as the Renaissance. This era, spanning from the late 15th century to the early 17th century, marked a significant departure from the medieval period, characterized by a renewed interest in the classical arts and sciences. This rebirth of classical art literature, and philosophy, which originated in Italy, found fertile ground in France, where it was embraced by monarchs and commoners alike. The French Renaissance was not just a mere imitation of the Italian Renaissance, it developed its own unique characteristics and contributions, blending the Italian influence with French traditions and innovations. The French Renaissance was marked by a spirit of inquiry, a rediscovery of classical learning, and a surge in artistic and scientific innovation. Scholars delved into ancient texts, artists experimented with new techniques, and scientists began to question the natural world in ways that had never been done before. King Francis I, a great patron of the arts, invited renowned Italian artists like Leonardo da Vinci to his court, transforming France into a hub of artistic creativity. Under his reign, the French court became a center of cultural exchange, where ideas and artistic styles were shared and developed. The Renaissance in France wasn't merely an artistic movement, it was a cultural revolution that touched every aspect of society. From the grand palaces of the nobility to the bustling streets of Paris, the influence of the Renaissance could be seen and felt everywhere. Festivals, fairs, and public performances brought the new ideas to the masses, making the Renaissance a truly inclusive movement. Writers like François Rabelais and Michel de Montaigne challenged the intellectual status quo with their humanist ideas and satirical wit. Their works questioned established norms and encouraged readers to think critically about the world around them, laying the groundwork for modern thought and literature. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg revolutionized the spread of knowledge, making books more accessible and fueling intellectual debate. This technological advancement allowed for the rapid dissemination of new ideas, enabling the Renaissance to reach a wider audience than ever before. The French Renaissance, with its emphasis on humanism, reason, and individual potential, laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution of the 17th century and the Enlightenment ideals that would sweep through Europe in the 18th century. The intellectual curiosity and innovative spirit of the Renaissance paved the way for future generations of thinkers and scientists. It was a period of profound transformation that left an enduring legacy on French culture and intellectual life. The architectural marvels, literary masterpieces, and scientific advancements of the French Renaissance continue to inspire and influence the world today, reminding us of the power of human creativity and the enduring quest for